Are there other sensors that OEMs are asking you for, whether they be ultrasonic or other things, to integrate into this package, or would they bring those themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultrasound that typically is used on the edge of kind of the car, they are not super accurate in co-locating or co-location or find the exact target, but they're a good sensor for immediate location. So I think the ultrasound kind of technology will be used, but eventually may get displaced by short-range LiDAR.
Okay.
But the issue of LiDAR has to do at the edge, right around the edge of the car, maybe somewhat to deal with cleaning, because obviously you pick up a lot more dust, and so there has to be some sort of self-cleaning system for components that go on the bumper, let's say.
That makes sense. So from as long as we're kind of on that topic of maintenance and calibration and so forth, given its solid state, I would imagine that helps a lot. But what other things cause calibration that you have to recalibrate? And then what does that mean? And other maintenance things like cleaning, as you mentioned, what sort of things have to be done?
Cleaning, you obviously have to connect to the car's cleaning capability to provide the necessary cleaners. But on calibration, yeah, the whole system was designed from the get-go to be easy manufacturing for OEMs and ease of operation. So the system is self-calibrating system. Now, because all the modular small components, even if one thing fails and if you're driving, it still completely works because there are always multiple lasers looking at the same place.
Right.
The car won't stop. I mean, let's say you put it on top of a truck, if the laser, and assuming some shipment to be delivered, and if the laser goes down, the truck has to rely on camera and then has to pull over. But
sure.
In our system, is because it's highly redundant, and the resolution of our radar can go match the resolution of LiDAR. In other words, we can get to 0.1 degree phase resolution, angular resolution, which is substantial relative to what's out there, which is about 1 to 2 degrees. From the get-go, we had to do self-calibration. Just, my second job in my career, I was working for Rockwell, and we were dealing with Ford and GM as a customer for RFID tags, etc. That's years ago, of course, 20 some odd years ago. And I know the pain these guys go through in terms of making sure everything is kind of flawless, and and tiny things could stop the production line, and so everything had to be from the get-go, from our perspective, had to be self-calibrating.
And I assume you have warning signals saying, "Hey, it's time to clean this. We have too much dirt around the LiDARs."
Right. We can identify where it is that is causing the problem. By the way, one of the things that I forgot to mention is that our system is a lot more resilient against also optical illusion or false images. Essentially, LiDARs today also they're susceptible to getting blindsided by adversarial systems. So if someone wants your LiDAR to mess up, all they have to do is, because they know exactly where the light's coming from, shine something into it, and it makes it difficult for the LiDAR to kind of operate. But because our aperture is wide and multi LiDAR or multi lasers, we won't have that problem.
I see. Because if you get one, there's still others that are shooting out and receiving.
One of the things that also was important to me was, in order to get to design in by manufacturers, is to focus on the size. I mean, size was really important. You see some comparison, and obviously I won't name names, but the thing is, there are robotaxi people, and that goes after the robotaxi market. And our sense was that eventually we want to get integrated, the full system, into the body of the car, And so I believe you have made great breakthroughs in terms of size, and eventually it gets a lot smaller too. So because obviously first generation is always the first generation.
Sure.
And as you develop it, it gets smaller and smaller. So that kind of covers the story.